Hi, I'm Lesley Everett, creator of the Walk and Tall methodology for personal branding. International Women's Day gives us a fantastic opportunity to focus on ourselves and our careers, and of course our personal brand. We're being asked by our international global clients more and more now to provide programs specifically for women in leadership, for diversity programs and talent programs in general. And some of the key areas that we're asked to focus on when we develop these programs I wanted to share with you today, and perhaps some practical tips to get you started on your own. The first area is around self-belief and confidence, and of course how to tackle that imposter syndrome that so many of us women seem to have to deal with in our careers today. A second one is gaining clarity on what women bring to the table, their value set, their authentic brand if you like. And then thirdly, the consistency of projecting that brand rather than being moulded by the outside world and influenced by others to be somebody they're not. What I'd like you to think about is some areas that you can perhaps put into practical use immediately. And the first one is carving out a couple of hours in your busy diary to think about yourself. I'd like you to think about your own brand, what it is you bring, what your value set is, what your beliefs and motivators are. A part of the methodology that we use I call the espresso effect. Now if you were to imagine an espresso machine and all the coffee beans being thrown in at the top, all of them represent an experience in your life, a pivotal moment, an anecdote, a challenging time, something somebody said when you were small that keeps coming back to you. Just imagine all those experiences being thrown in at the top of the machine, ground and percolated around to produce your values, your beliefs, your motivators, your strengths and talents. And in that tiny condensed cup underneath, in its purest essence, that's your brand statement. And it's a great methodology to think about to really define what your brand is. So carve out a bit of time to think about those values and what you stand for. Another great way to look at your values is what drives you mad about other people when they do or don't do something, or when they say or don't say something. Great way to look at what's important to you. So carve out some time to be clear about that. Another thing that I like to do is to think about achievements over the last year. Take time with a cup of coffee to write down all of those things that you've achieved, no matter how big, how small, and really start to build your confidence and looking back at what you've done. You'll be amazed at what you've achieved. But as women, we tend to not dwell on this. We tend to look forward to the next challenge and beat ourselves up about things that we haven't done already. So really write those achievements down and think about what you have done. And then think about the goals that you have for your career this year. A lot of us will write down lists and have great New Year's resolutions, but unless you define the goal specifically, you're very unlikely to focus on it enough in order to get you there. A great structure for a goal that I use when I'm coaching is to start it off with, I want to. That's a very strong statement. It's about you, and define what that goal is, whether that's a development area, whether that's the next role that you want to achieve, whether it's that non-exec role, whether that's that voluntary role, whatever it is. Just I want to, and define the role, the goal. The next thing is by, and you need a specific date here, not the middle of 2015. It would need to be July the 1st, 2015, a very specific date that the brain can really focus on. And then thirdly, the last bit of any goal, which is so important, is the so that I bit. What does it give you when you achieve that goal? How does it make you feel? What is it gives you when you've achieved it? How does it make a difference to you in your life? It may be about fulfillment, it may be about being respected and valued. Whatever it is, write that down, but it's got to be about you and not about being a better manager, for example. If you really define your goal with that sort of clarity, you've got a great focus, and it gives you something to think about every day. Your brain will start to spot opportunities to help you reach that goal, and you'll be very likely to get there quicker than you thought. So I hope there's a few things there to think about on this year's International Women's Day. Think about your brand, being authentic, and how you're going to project that more effectively and more consistently than perhaps you have been doing already. If you want to hear more about Walking Tall products, just go to our website, which is walkingtall.org, or you can go to my own website, leslyeverett.com, and see what we have there. We have books and videos. And if you want to contact me personally, drop me an email at leslie@walkingtall.org. I hope to see you soon.